Hello, and welcome to a special edition of Spartan Echo TV. I'm Sarah Jefferson, and on today's edition of Beyond NSU, we spoke with Mrs. Facia Cousins. Mrs. Cousins is a Richmond native, and she is a graduate of Meadowbrook High School in 1997, in which she attended Norfolk State thereafter. She also has her master's in music education from Norfolk State University, which she received in 2001. Currently, Mrs. Cousins is married to Eric Cousins. She has two beautiful children and is the director of bands at Virginia Union University. Let's welcome Mrs. Cousins. Can you tell me a little bit about life after NSU?
Oh, I gotta go way back. Well, life after NSU kind of it was a smooth transition because I went from undergrad right into graduate school, and when I got into graduate school, I applied for a job at a daycare and ended up at a private school teaching band, my first band job. So throughout grad school, I worked at this school called Atlantic Shores Christian School, and it was a great stepping stone to start teaching because they didn't have really high expectations. I hate to say it that way. So it allowed me room to make mistakes and room to correct them. Okay. So it was a smooth transition.
Okay, so how did you prepare for life after NSU?
Well, NSU prepared me for life. That's one thing I would say about an HBCU. When you are a minority and you go to an HBCU, they teach you how to be who you are in today's society and in the work field, and how to be a professional person of color in the work field. So Norfolk State prepared me by placing me in different practicum situations. So I had student teaching opportunities at predominantly white institutions. I had teaching opportunities at predominantly black institutions. So when I got into the real world, I was prepared. So my first job was Atlantic Shore Christian School. These people made money, like a lot of money. And so they sent their children there, so I was able to adapt to that. Then when I came to back home and got my real first city school gig, I was at Bouchard Middle School, which is predominantly black, inner city, troubled kids, social economic level very low, so I was able to be adjust to both of those different situations.
So, what advice would you give to an NSU student who's not very sociable and doesn't know how to utilize the opportunities that HBCU gives?
I would say social media is your friend. I would say you have to step out and speak. Because I'm passive. I'm passive aggressive. That's what I learned about myself these last 10 years. So I don't like being up front. I don't like talking. I don't like being out there. But in order to put yourself out there, you do have to have the confidence to stand up and be seen, or people will walk over you, or you will not get to where you want to go. So, for instance, this job, I did not want to leave TJ because I am a passive person, which means that I did not want to have to interview for a different position. I didn't want to have to get to learn new people. But in order to progress, I had to. And it's going to be some more uncomfortable situations that I have to put myself into. I'm in uncomfortable situations every day when I have to defend my students against certain people that I got to work with, but you have to do it. So I would say look at social media, apply to certain things, put yourself out there, ask people, what do you think I should go for? Have you heard about this? Have you heard about that? And then what you need to do is just go for it. You have to be aggressive for your, career and your livelihood.
I also got a chance to speak with one of Mrs. Cousins' students. Here's what he had to say about his experience with her.
My name is Ryan Saley, and I am a senior at the illustrious Virginia Union University. Um, I came on campus not knowing that there was a marching band, and I actually went to someone that is a good friend of mine, Biscuit. I thought he was a band director, but I was sadly mistaken. Um, Overall, the experience has just been amazing. I've had some of my best memories, and I've really seen the band grow and increase through my tenure at Virginia Union. Um, I I would say my favorite memory with the band would be the 2015 Battle of the Bands, definitely, definitely. The response that I got from the crowd, not just me, the entire band, was a feeling I would never forget. All tens and got standing ovation. It was just a major accomplishment for us because Miss Cousin really drives us and tells us, we can do things and we can be somebody. And I feel like a somebody when I'm in the band. And I'm just, blessed I got gifted with my talent. Glory to God.
What would you say to them to encourage them to like just treat your students just like their family?
The proven what okay, I'm gonna write a book one day, and the book that I want to write is called bridging adolescence bridging adolescence through music education to adulthood. Okay, so from adolescence to adulthood through music education. Okay, so what I want to say is, before I even had children, what you have to do is treat them like they're your children. Okay, and when they know that you care about them, they give you that same respect in return. And then the sky's the limit. They would do anything for you if they know you would do anything for them. That's what happens. When you genuinely care, you can't put on a front. You can't fake being an educator and not liking what you do. They're going to know that you don't like what you do. Or if you're just doing it for a paycheck, they're going to know that. So if you want to be a music educator, I would say, like what you're doing, love what you're doing. It has to be your passion. Because when I get up in the mornings and I come to work, I'm not like, oh man, I gotta go to work today. I'm like, it's time to go. It's time to go. It's just a blessing that my livelihood is my passion. So you want to be a music educator, a band director, and if you're a female, you just have to be confident in your craft. Know that you know your craft. Know that Norfolk State prepared you because they prepared me. You have to be confident. You don't know everything, but you know enough to get started.
Okay, and lastly, what would you say has contributed to your success the most?
Prayer, support, because without those two things, it wouldn't work. Because if you don't pray, you're going to be very weak because being in the classroom can break you down. So when I was at that private school, those parents attacked me left and right. They said I was being rude to their kids. I wasn't, But it was because there was this black face in front of these lily white children. And so they was like, oh, she's attacking our kids. You got to have confidence. The same Christian school I worked for hired me as their musician. And then they fired me and said that this is a Southern Baptist church. You can't stand in front of men here. Only women are not allowed to stand in front of men. Only men are allowed to teach men. So you have to be confident. You have to have courage. You have to be able to say, okay. And then you got to be able to pick yourself up and move on. Support. If you don't have a good support, a good foundation of people that will do anything for you, you can't go anywhere. So you will get those along the way if you're dedicated, if you care, if you're passionate. You will get those people that no matter what, they'll show up. It could be a snowstorm. You say, come on, let's have a car wash. And they'll be out there with buckets. You know what I'm saying? So, treat, back to the other question, just treat the students like you want your child to be treated. And then that's how you get that strong support system, because then they come back. Like you. You've come back to help me. I taught you. Now I could call you and say, can you come tomorrow? Oops, I forgot. And you come. So it's like that. Now I just got weird at the end. So we're going to go through what we've done. It has been so much fun. And so many people, it seems like we need to do this for 3 more days. But we know we can't. But so what we're going to do is give you a little bit of what we've done, which is a snippet of what AOS is like.